this was an intriguing one for me because it was, I hadn't thought about the expanding the powers of our Attorney General here in Maryland, but Attorney General Anthony Brown, the first African-American to hold the post, is asking the General Assembly to pass legislation to enable him to sue companies and individuals who violate federal or state civil rights laws. Marc, presently, Maryland law allows a person to file a discrimination complaint with the Maryland Civil Rights Commission or the Maryland Equal Opportunity Commission. And Marylanders also have the right to file a complaint with the Federal Civil Rights Commission if it's a federal violation, or finally, to bring a private action in court. So why is it necessary to involve the Attorney General in this process?
Well, I'm not quite sure about the details, but I'm surmising in the examples that you gave, there's a specific aggrieved party. So somebody with a complaint can raise an issue through a variety of forums about specific discrimination. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think what Brown is proposing is that he be able, on behalf of the Attorney General's office, on behalf of the state, to bring a cause of action independent of having a specific or aggrieved party. In other words, just simply file a complaint where there's not necessarily already a class or a group, an individual or class that's been identified. I'm concerned about that because I think it's important to be very specific when there is agreements and to have an individual with a complaint. That's really kind of how our legal system operates. But again, I'm not sure, that may not be precisely what he's trying to do.
Well, I don't think that there are real details. And,
right.
But Nancy, I mean, the Maryland Attorney General's office, their role is rather limited by legislation as to what they can and cannot do. We saw very much an expansion of their role during Brian Frosch's term. So is this something we should look forward to? I mean, we've been going 50 years under the current system. Why the departure now?
Look, Anthony's trying to stake his claim to a different position or a presence in the state of Maryland. I was kind of interested that it was necessary, that the authority of the Attorney General was constrained to go after things in the public good. So this does warrant more attention to what authority is restricted to that person and that individual. But, one does think of the Attorney General as having broad powers and looking at, serving the public and identifying, we're attorneys. You can construct a cause of action in many cases based on, credible information, and you can build a case and so forth. Ordinarily, and that the Attorney General is considered to be constrained is interesting. And so if there's legislation to be had, we'll have a chance to chew it over later on.
Right.
Well, you're absolutely right. I mean, the bill usually takes a while to get through the legislature here in Maryland anyway, but it'll be interesting to see. I think the fear that I have is that there will be fishing expeditions and against businesses, and without a complainant. That's my concern.